Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Today, we are finally talking a week later, okay, about the Atlanta season 3 finale. All right, that's Atlanta season 3, episode number 10. And it was called TARRARE or TARRARE. I don't know, but they were saying it different ways in the episode. So that's what it is. And before we get started, before I bring in my co-host, I would like to ask a simple question because something annoyed me just a little while ago before I came on. How pissed do you get when you have an item in your hand, such as, let's say, this lip gloss, and then all of a sudden you just cannot find it? Like, that happened to me. On a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed do you get? I get really, really pissed. So I think that kind of says a lot about my patience level. I got to work on that. So why don't you put in the comment section? I don't see anybody right now, too many people in the chat, but listen, when you get in the chat, from 1 to 10, how pissed do you get? Okay, when you just had an item in your hand and now it's nowhere to be found. In the comment section, hashtag replay, how pissed do you get? All right. Hey, Damien. Hey, Karen Jones. Love you guys. All right, let's get our people in here. Today we have a queenly woman, honey. It's Pretty Love. I'm sorry, Pretty Girl loves trap content.
Hey everyone! Hey! I take all the names. You know, it's a long name, so it's a lot going on, girl.
I mean, dag though, why I gotta mess it up when I'm trying to introduce
No,
you?
you
Goodness.
good. No biggie, it's all up.
William said 5. Okay, so that means that you're kind of. I would think that you're in the middle and you're pretty balanced when it comes to patience. And Damien, you like me. He said 10. Karen said 10, honey. I get really pissed, guys. And that's kind of what happened to me before. Like, I pulled the lip gloss out. That's why I'm showing you guys this one. This was not the color I was looking for, okay? I had to get a backup. And it was going just like that. I was so mad. I said, let me get myself together, calm down, and just talk to my people about it. Now, let's get someone else up in here that's going to be helping us out with this. I'm talking about this mind-boggling episode, and no disrespect to the creators and writers of Atlanta, but it was a doozy, guys. All right, so we are going to be coming in with JH, okay? The JH review.
How we doing? I be on 10 too. I just lost my hotel keys today and I had to take that walk of shame. I like, can I get another card key? I'm sorry. I've been in this hotel room 3-4 times and I've done it every time I visit here.
Wow. Now that would make it be that would be on 10. Like, what the heck does that keep on happening? I would go crazy.
A question, Miss K. Sorry if you don't mind. Was it an external thing, like someone else was distracting you, or was you just doing too much? Because both things happen to me. If somebody distracts me, then I get sidetracked, and then I distract my own damn self.
Right. I think it was all me.
Okay.
Because nobody's down here right now. And I was just like, I literally pulled it out of my pocketbook and I went in there and I was just like applying lip liner and stuff. And then I came out and I looked for I'm like, and then I went into the bathroom like, oh, it has to be in the bathroom. It wasn't in there. Girl, I was like, what just happened?
No, I get it. One time I was looking for my phone for like 3 minutes, legit, getting out my car. And I was on the phone.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Okay. Thought it was
right.
Hey, Karen.
I'm so glad. That's why I love you guys, okay? Because we can just come in at it. That's a random question, but listen, it's a situation I had real quick. I had to talk to my people about it, okay? That's it. Like, seriously, you guys are like my therapy session every now and then. So, yeah, we're going to talk about, let's get into this, guys. So when we see, now we know throughout this whole season 3, it was a little bit on the weird side, but I did enjoy, I enjoyed it, but all right, it was bittersweet for me, put it that way. Because the every other episode thing, kind of like the standalone episodes, I wasn't looking forward to them, but they were good. and because I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? I wanted more of the cast. So it's like we haven't seen you guys in what 2-3 years, and we're getting less of you now that you're finally back. We're getting less of you, but I also was under the impression that this was the final season, but it doesn't seem like it's the final season. Does anybody know anything about
I
that?
heard next season will be the final.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure
And I heard it's coming up shortly, like in the fall.
Okay, good. So, right, because the way things ended, it definitely did not feel series finale-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was
should have
like,
been thrown
all
in the
right.
middle.
Huh?
It should have been thrown in the middle somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
We ended with y'all just give a Van just her own episode. I was just like,
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at it. I felt we needed closure, but it wasn't what I guess was looking for. If I needed a closure episode until like the last 5 minutes, then I was like, okay, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, no, it was like I agree. It was kind of like, you know, I wasn't mad that it was an episode all about her, but because I kept saying in my reviews, I kept saying somebody need to check on Van. Somebody need to check on Van. Like you saw, you know, throughout the episodes, whenever she was in a scene, it was weird. It was off. You know, you saw that she was off. She was stealing stuff. Remember when they went to the billionaire's house, she was pocketing the, you know, his little sculptures off the shelves and pushing people in the pool. Like the girl was, she was tripping.
Yes.
So I'm not mad that she got her own episode, but I did want to see not Van Earn and the rest of the gang. I wanted to see them as well. So how did you feel about Justin? You said you didn't really care for her to have her own episode. Can you kind of expound on that?
The only mention we got of Earn was his text message. And that was it. But I think definitely him being one of the main characters, I expected to see the whole crew in the final episode.
Me too.
And I'm just like, okay, it's just Van and her friends.
Right.
So, well, sort of her friends. I don't know if she was really messing with her like that.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted. I expected that. But one thing that I kept saying as well during my reviews is that even if I don't totally understand or necessarily like it as much, I like the creative freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like they're literally doing whatever the heck they want to do. Like they're not playing by no rules. And I gathered this on my own, and it was confirmed in an article that I recently read about what's his name? Donald Glover's brother. I think his name is Steven. I don't remember his name.
I don't know.
But yeah, so he has been the one that kind of took over with the writing and everything. And he was like, his brother is just the type that just don't give a F. And he kind of needed that. And it was just like, go ahead, do whatever, you know, because it kind of came from two different things, because he was already in that. And it was just like, all right, I'm already kind of playing by certain rules. And he's like, I don't care. So it's like, all right, no problem. So let's get into this episode. Karen Jones says, I think it answered her behavior all season long. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it did.
It definitely, Karen says his name is Steven. Thank you, Karen. All right, guys. So look, the episode starts off with these ladies here. We got Zosha, and I think the one with the big hair is Shanice, right? And Candace.
The only one I remember is Candace.
Candace is a friend, but yeah, Shanice and Zosha.
Zosha, right. So they're supposed to be cousins, Shanice and Zosha. And Candace is up in there because she done peed on some man, so she done got some money and got her overseas, honey, with her friends. So, all right, now that's that. Here's weird number one. Okay, so they're talking and they're like, "Oh, thank you, girl, for getting us here and everything." And then she sees Van, like, you know, Candace is explaining everything, and then all of a sudden she sees Van, and she walks and she's like, "Van," and Van she's over there speaking French. She's talking like when Candace says, "Hey, it's me," she's like, "Who Candice? I don't know." I'm like, "What the heck is going on, really, girl?" Because if you guys, you know, after watching the whole episode, this girl has only been at it for a few weeks, if that, and she's over here trying to act like she don't know who this girl is. Anybody got
the definition of brand new.
Yeah, at this point I wasn't feeling a way because Van has been kind of on one, so I wasn't really surprised at this point that she was trying to play it off. Not until later on, I'm like, okay, what's going on? But yeah, it was a little weird, but based on how she's been acting this season, I'm not completely surprised. Who would think you out of the country and you would run into your home girl? So that's
right.
So I don't know. True. But shout out to Candace. She gave a whole new term to wee wee. Where they at, girl? I mean, I'm married, but I think
listen, girl. Now that you done said that, here's the question. Now that you done said that, here's another question for the night. She said, where they at? So look, pretty girl already done said it. And I have to be honest, because I was sitting here thinking about it when I was like, should I even ask this question? But then, I'm married, so I have to try to think about, hindsight or, before marriage. And I'm like, would I? And, at a time in my life, when I was a little wild, I used to think about being a stripper. So if I thought about being a stripper, of course.
We all had names and everything, girl.
Right. Of course I would pee on someone for money. Come on now. But there has to be certain, stipulation, there gotta be security. I mean, something. Because I don't know you. My friends gotta come, stuff like that. It's a wild life, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna pee on a man.
Us as women, if you have insurance, you're technically paying to pee, because we pee in the cup plenty of times for the doctor and we pay our health insurance. So
right.
I'm just saying, six, and I just want to know, is it $6,000 after the flight and everything? Like, I need details. You got your homegirl, her friend, like, it's a lot going on. Like, is that after all the expenses?
It really is.
But that's what they say. The girls be doing us. IG models be going to Dubai to do those type of things. So I guess that's where they got the inspiration from. I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, because they be pulling from everywhere with Atlanta. Yes. Hey Moochie, what's up, babe? Hey Art Love, Moochie, let us know, girl. Would you pee on someone for money, boo? Let us know. All right, so now she's like, oh, they met. She said, oh yes, Candice. She remembers Candice now all of a sudden. And so she takes them back to her apartment. And Van, at this point while I'm watching, guys, I'm thinking Van has been in Paris for maybe some years or something now. Like, did she just start a whole new life? Because she was on the cover of a magazine. She's in the magazine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really confused at this point. How did you feel about this, Jay? Talk to me.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing as far as, was there some type of time skip? Mm-hmm. How long has it been? Because, like I said, from the text she was getting earlier, they was hitting her up. Her mama, Earn. So she's been gone for some time, I would guess, between when they left. Mm-hmm. So, but I definitely thought there was just a 180 as far as her just assuming this alternate identity. So that's one of the themes I definitely got from this episode, just the whole season, as far as identity crisis, like with the last episode. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And, so even with this one, when you see that she has on like this wig, it also made me think about the wig that woman accused her of stealing. We never got a chance to see the wig. Mm-hmm. And it made me wonder if this was the one, to be honest. And, after that, I think she slept with Earn that night. And then he woke up the next day. She wasn't there. Maybe this is the time when she went to Paris. And so as I'm over here thinking that there's some type of time jump going on, it's crazy that as we get to the end of the episode, it's only it's a span of a few weeks. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. That's the part it bugs me out. Did you want to add something to that, pretty girl?
Yeah, they referenced time twice. Like, I don't want to jump ahead, but when she was in the museum and discussing the bread, she was said, "Hey, if you leave it out for 6 months." So I'm like, okay, she's talking about 6 months there, and then when she's talking with Candace at the end, she's referencing a few weeks. But we know in previous episodes there was when her Ern, I guess, spoke again, he said, hey, well, no, when they met up and had, relations, at that point, it's been a week or so since they haven't spoken. So this is at this point, when I saw the magazine, I was like, hold up. She had time to formulate, herself into this new situation, get photographed, have it printed, have it on her lived-in apartment, have a whole boyfriend. At this point, I'm like, yo, like, what's up? Did I take some shrooms? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, okay. So
I was to scratch my head. As you would say, a scratch my head moment.
Yeah, right. Scratching your head moment. And the thing too, to go a little step further, she was when her friend was asking her, like, what is she going to do for money? We'll get there soon. But when she was saying, what are you going to do for money? This and that, she was like, I'm working, And then I thought about this and I said, well, she was modeling too. So what do you mean? What are you going to do for money? I would figure you're set. You know what I'm saying? But hey, whatever, guys. Gucci says, look, they can have all her libations. Okay.
I'm just saying, I ain't mad. Get your hustle.
Let me see what our love saying. Inquiring minds. Well, my mind want to know, Ms. K, what was the skipper? I don't remember having one. It might have been my tag that I already had, which was Easy Breezy. I don't see that as a stripper name, but I don't think I had a stripper name. Y'all are too much, okay? Got me over here talking about that. That was my teen. I was like a teenager acting, I didn't do anything, but I was thinking stupid, So, so now, they're running errands and everything. Guys, the part that tripped me out when I said a van is she's gone. She is gone. When they were in the house, right? And she was like, oh, I have errands to run, but you guys can come with me. And she was like, it would be, how do you say, very cool. I said, girl. I was like, girl, is she really serious right now, trying to act like she don't know how to speak English? I couldn't. So listen, we already saw in the picture that she has a little boyfriend, and it's not Alexander Skarsgard, but she gets to this guy's place, up his apartment, and he's over here dancing and just like grooving to Ashanti, feeling it, honey. Okay. And this is her little, I guess she's having an affair with him or something like that, right? But we also see, I don't know what this relationship entails, but she tried to set him up or something. She sprinkled some drugs or something like that in his bed. It was just a hot mess. Pretty girl, you wanted to say anything about this scene?
Yeah, I was still lost, but I was kind of here for it at this point. I'm like, whatever, I'm just in. Whatever they giving me. So with him talking about, is Ashanti still with Nelly?
Right.
So that's, and he telling Brandy, I call the girl Brandy because she reminded me of Brandy, the friend. He was like, you want to get naked? And they was like, yeah, they was here for it. They was with the scandals. They
really were.
I really enjoyed that because I don't know if I'll be down for it because I watched Taken too many times. But
yeah, they were a little too free to be in another country. Like, yeah, I got some serious awareness going on when it comes to other countries, honey. No.
This scene was still another confusing thing because at the end, I'm still like, where does this play in this whole like debacle? So I don't know. I was here for it at this point, still confused, but I'm just saying, hey, this is their art. I'm just taking it in at this point.
Right. She set him up and then spit in his face. Like Moochie said, she set him up and then she spit in his face later on. I was like, what kind of nonsense?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead, JH. Did you want...
I got PTSD. If you watch Flavor of Love back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, and I think her name was Pumpkin. She spit on
New York.
Yes. I was like, oh, I
Yeah,
got a little.
she deserved that one.
I'm like, not in
I'm
the
talking about.
COVID.
Yes, when New York like grabbed her from behind and was ready
Yes,
to. I said that's what she get.
exactly.
Trying to spin on somebody. Are you crazy? I'm sorry, Jage. Go ahead.
All right. At this point, I'm ready to give Van the most hated character of Atlanta. So, I'm like, bro, you pushing people in pools, you a klepto, now you scamming? I was like,
Yeah.
at this point, I'm like, what is going on with Van? I need to know. But I
Yeah.
still don't think they should have took the whole episode to explain that. But I'm glad we got some
Yeah.
type of closure.
It was a lot.
It's like I think Candace kind of represents the audience at this point. I mean, look at her face. She's just like, what the heck is going on? I mean, every step of the way, she wants to know what is going on with my friend. She's just like lost, And look at Van. She's like, it's just a game, we play this like that. I'm like, this girl is nuts.
On the
So,
weekends.
yeah, huh? What'd you say?
You said on the weekends or something. I was like,
on the weekends. Like, what? So now they're in this, I guess, dangerous neighborhood. And Candace is like, listen, I don't feel safe here. I don't like this. And in this neighborhood is where we keep hearing like the title of the episode, "TARRARE." Like they just they're calling it out the window. They start throwing stuff. And, but this is the neighborhood that she has to go and pick up a package. Where's the package? She sees that Emilio has screwed her. She's pissed off because the package is not there, And so, but these three guys come out. This scene was funny, guys. I'm sorry, because the background action had me cracking up. I don't know if you guys noticed that those guys in the back, that car was trying to back up and freaking hit the dude. And the dude goes and busts the freaking window. And that kind of created a distraction. So these three guys, they turn back around. At first, Van, she was standing up to them like she was about to handle business. But clearly she was fronting again.
I thought that was Fetty Wap.
With the eye, right? Yeah.
Until I heard his voice, I was like,
yeah, but that's not him. So I thought Van was about to do something, but she ran because these guys went over there to help out with the situation, I guess. All right. So now, she's still walking around with this bread, and the girls, what do they call it? A baguette? So a baguette or something like that. Right. So they're asking like, why the heck what is going on with this bread? And I think Shanice was like, yeah, but I F's with it now. Like, I like them. Them two girls though, honestly, they brought the comedy to this episode.
Yeah.
So they were definitely needed. So now she takes them to the museum to see Emilio, and she want to know where the heck the package is. And like you had already brought up, it's all about, that long lasting, leaving that bread out. Remember the question you said, how long, about something about what happens when you leave bread out for so long or something like that. Well, we freaking find out because she starts beating the freaking crap out of him. Can you please, JH, can you please tell me now, where are you at now with this? I mean, she's beating the crap out of this guy.
Okay, I'm like, you running away from the other guy, but you want to be tough with this guy. I'm like, you need to keep the same energy throughout the episode. So like, I need you to go back to that neighborhood and use that same piece of bread. But I'm like, why is this dude letting her hit him? You letting this girl hit you with this bread? You better run away or something.
Right. And who has she become that quick? Like, is she that notorious already? She hasn't been there that long.
Yeah.
That's why this whole thing is so weird. Pretty girl, what do you want to say about this? Like, she's almost killing them.
I'm the psychologist in me was confused. Like, I was about to pull up my old psychology books and try to figure out what was going on. Because I'm like, yeah, girl, you went from going to be a model to being a thug life situation. Like, you got fear in these people's horts out here.
Yeah.
And Patty with this bread. And I'm just like, and the baguette, like, even when I go into the store and try to get a baguette, it's already hard. So I can imagine leaving it out for weeks at a time, how hard it is. But the fact that I guess his boyfriend let her in, and then ushered everyone out.
Right, that was crazy.
So I'm like, what is going on here? Like, yeah, I'm still confused. I'm still here for it, but yeah, I was lost still. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that was nuts. I mean, this guy, I didn't know, guys. This was too much a little bit for me. It was like she done turned into a killer. Like, what's happening here? So now that all of this has happened, they get to like this little party, kind of like a dinner party thing. Look, she still got the bread in her bag, and Candace is just like, listen, guys, you wanted us to have fun. We saw some places, but I'm ready to go home. We were already in unsafe situations. Let's just go. And the girls are like, we having fun, and I like her, let her live. And so, girl, let her live her life and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like you being in a situation where somebody, and to other people, they could be fun, because they don't know them. And that's kind of what Candace is trying to explain. Like, y'all are only saying that because you don't know her. And it is a bit uncomfortable. Like, it's almost like watching a drunk friend or a drunk family member just act out of character and you just can't stand it,
Exactly.
So it's kind of like that's what it is for Candace, but the other girls are just looking at it like, oh, it's so much fun. They don't see anything wrong with it, but yeah, so like I said, they're at this party, and guys, it's a lot. I mean, we're gonna keep saying this throughout this whole time. Like, it's just a lot going on here. She introduces Candace as the woman that was stripping with her on the river cruise. Like, she just really, like you said, JH has really done some type of alter ego situation, and to fit in with these people in such a short span of time, again, is just too much for me. It's too much. But you know what? I can't be sitting here trying to critique it too much, because the writers have already established that they just wanted to do whatever the heck they wanted to do. So I don't, and so we got this scene, and she says, Emilio, he screwed me again. So this obviously is not the first time Emilio has done this. And if you listen to the conversation when she said, you're going to just beat somebody to death with a baguette, whatever you call it. And the guy says, again? So this chick has been doing this. So Emilio is obviously a glutton for punishment. As far as I'm concerned, he likes it. So, all right. So now Candace, she wants to know at this point, like, just what's going on? What is this? Stop talking with the fake accent. I'm tired of this. I need you to talk to me. And now Van is saying, you just can't stand that somebody else is more interesting than you. The only reason why you're bothered about this is because you're not in control of me. And if you guys remember Candace in like the prior seasons, when she came to visit, because Candace always has that free and wild life. There's like a real contrast between these two women and how they live. Van is a mother and stuff like that. She's probably she kind of lives a boring life. We already had a situation where you saw she went to a party and she wanted Ern to pretend that he was her husband. So she's kind of been on this path a little bit where she doesn't really know who the heck she is, or she's trying to find herself or fit in to a certain group or whatever. Meanwhile, Candace kind of just lives her life like, whatever, I just have me some fun. So now that Candace is saying, what the heck is up with you? Van is like, you're just mad because you're not in control of me, and I'm doing something interesting, like, you don't approve of my lifestyle. JH, did you want to say anything about this?
I think it might be some truth to that, because just because I don't really remember much about Candace before this episode, but just judging off that first conversation, she just seemed like she was kind of into herself, But now she's not popping anymore right now because all the attention is on Van. So
Right.
I thought she had an argument for that.
True. And remember, I don't remember the context of the conversation or the argument actually, because in the when we first saw Candace show up in the other seasons, they had like a little argument, and they resolved it, whatever, but they did have some kind of argument. So, of course it was about the differences and stuff like that. I don't know. Did you remember anything, Pretty Girl, about their little conversation that they had before?
The only episode I really remember Candace was in I think it was Champagne Poppy, the Drake party episode. So I don't remember her from any other episodes, honestly. But in terms of this scene, I feel like two things can be true at once when it comes to this. Yes, she may be not in control, but I think it's more so a situation where Candace is at this point, she's feeling all these feelings. She's probably feeling alarmed, confused, a little embarrassed. Like, when you know your friends and you know when they're out of character, you're like, yo, like, what's going on? Especially Van is probably what most people consider the quote unquote strong friend. Like, she always was responsible. She probably, I can't assume, but she had her daughter probably at a young age. So she always took care of business. So when you see her go from one side to the other, it's like, no, what's going on? So I think they're both kind of experiencing, two different situations here, but they're both valid in both of their own feelings.
Yeah, totally. Definitely agree. So guys, that's when she said, you're just mad because you're not in control. I actually appreciated this conversation also because Van kind of, it's like she came back to herself a little bit, but she still had the accent. You know what I mean? She's like, I know you, Candace, but she's still keeping up with her little persona, whatever, So I said, okay, girl, whatever. Keep, do what you got to do. But now, guys, this is some cult-like crazy. I mean, once again, we're in the Twilight Zone with this episode, basically. All right. And these people are about to eat freaking hands, fried, battered hands or whatever. That's basically what the package was all about. Hands. They was freaking chasing around hands in the city. This is what Van does. She goes and she picks up the hands from the cooler, and I don't know whose hands those are. Are they killing people for these hands, or are they just chopping the hands off and putting them in the package? So many questions, guys. I mean, such a freaking ambiguous episode, like leaving it up to our own freaking interpretation. I guess they were, and then they make you put the towels over your head, and Zosha and Shanice are here for it. Like, they want the full experience. Poor babies had to realize that they were eating hands. Did anybody want to chime in on this little
See, I don't even want to start with the cultural differences, but we don't do this. Like, I spent time in Buffalo and I had the best chicken fingers of my life in Buffalo, New York. Those were chicken fingers, okay? Not human fingers. And it don't even look good. It looked like they had some shake and bake on it.
Yeah.
Like, no flavor. Whose hand is this? Like, it looked... Oh my God. And they didn't even have no good sides. At least give me some greens or some macaroni.
Yeah. They try to make it all fancy and everything.
And I'm sorry. I got to see what I eat. Even if it's too dark in the room, I'm eating it. I still need a little bit of light to see what's going on.
Yeah. What do I need to eat with a towel over my head for? Nah. That's very suspect. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm not for it. But yeah, it was, I was really trying to figure it out, but I had to do some digging and some research of my own regarding some of the terms and the actual title of the episode that kind of explains possibly where they was going. But yeah, it was a lot. It was gross, and like they ate a little bit of it. So I'm like, did you not like understand? Like, I don't understand. Like, they don't like they sauteed it or anything, or like
yeah,
it was a lot.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I looked up the title of the episode a little bit, and there was some type of backstory. Van kind of, brushed over it a little bit and was like, he's the man who eats the baby.
Yeah.
So there's some kind of cannibalism or something like that with it. I don't remember everything. I don't know. Did you know anything about it, Jay?
No, I was aware that TARRARE is based like on a real person because I
Uh-huh.
watch it on Hulu, so they have these like it's kind of like a one-liner review, and it
Mm.
said, "Yo, this is based off a real person. TARRARE was a real
Oh,
person."
okay.
So, um,
Yeah.
but anyway, I do have a question that I was waiting to debut this on Brillo's next live, but
Okay.
um, if y'all had a choice,
Oh
would
God.
you rather eat the hand
Ooh.
or the raw chicken from the LaQuavius
Ooh.
episode?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to go with the raw chicken. Like, I'm not a human. I don't eat humans. I'm sorry. I just don't. And yeah,
Oh,
I just don't. I mean, God forbid. I guess I would have to deal with the food poisoning aspect of it all. But I'm not eating nobody because then to me, I helped. I
Yeah.
was basically an accomplice almost. That's just me.
I'll probably eat the cooked hand because at least,
Oh.
I
but
kind of had a feeling you were gonna say that.
I mean, give me some hot sauce. I could probably,
We know you a little bit toxic, so I had a feeling.
I'm just saying the person was probably already dead. So
Yeah.
I went from guilt. We eat chicken and other dead animals. So we're
Oh
technically
my
mammals. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the I'm gonna throw up either way, honestly. But if I had to choose,
God. But listen, I do respect it, but at the same time, when you like on Zosha's plate, for instance, when they realized that they were eating hands, she cut like a part of the hand off, and it looked a little still. I don't like. It's not
Mm.
even fully cooked.
oh, I didn't even examine
So
that.
if I had to choose, I'm gonna choose the raw chicken that Laquavius had to eat. Laquarius, whatever the freak his name was,
It
Laquarius.
was the fingernail still on there too? That's a lot of
Ew.
questions.
I feel like the fingernails were on, but I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe I would. I don't know if we can choose dark meat or light meat because we like we got seasoning in our bodies, so maybe if they eat a black person's
They
head,
were
some Lorries, some Old Bay, some Sazon. We got
yeah, sure. It's almost like eating pork if you eat us, because you got all that in
exactly.
there. That the
Mm.
pork be having all that seasoning. I mean that juicy saltiness going on. I hate to say it, but don't be thinking about it, folks. Moochie said, "Whose hand was it, girl? It was hands." And this is a situation that clearly be going on all the time. Okay, some type of rich ritual, rich ritual, and Alexander Skarsgard is a part of it. So I don't know. Cult.
God.
Okay, so now we have Van. I'm sorry, yeah, Van and Candace, and she's basically saying, "All right, girl, look, if you want to live your life like this, that's fine. But what about your old life? What about your parents? And what if your visa expires? All that stuff." And Van has an answer for everything, even when she says, "What about Lottie?" And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna bring her over here with me." And she's like,
Mm.
"To eat hands?" And it's so crazy because it's like as soon as she says that, it's like Van snaps out of it. Like she was in some kind of, trance or under some type of hypnosis. And she snaps out of it and she starts screaming at the dude that's her boyfriend. And she's like, "Get out! Get out! What am I doing here?" She starts, going crazy, throwing pots and pans and everything. And this scene really reminded me of that scene from Get Out where Lakeith Stanfield, someone did something. I don't know if you guys remember that scene where I don't know if someone made a sound with the T or they clapped their hands. Somebody did something, right? Some type of action. and it made his character snap out of it. The character, when he had the hat on and everything, it made him snap out of it. And I think his nose started bleeding or something. And he saw Daniel. Look, I forgot the dude's name. He saw his character. And he looks at him. He's like, "Get out of here, get out of here." So it's like he came to his senses a little bit, and they had to kind of like
flash. I think.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was something that caused him to snap out of the hypnosis, and I feel like I don't know. It may be just me, but I kind of feel like that was a little homage to that scene because she really snapped out of it for a second and started throwing stuff and going crazy and all of that. How did you feel about this scene, Jay?
I didn't think about that as far as her, I guess, triggering her in some way. That I definitely would, when she brought up Lottie, that's what kind of did it. But I was like, man, you being real unrealistic right now. You about to bring your child way across the world. I was like, nah, that ain't happening right now.
Yeah. And Pretty Girl, what about you?
Yeah, I took it as more of a kind of like a psychotic break in a sense where she couldn't deal with the lies anymore. She couldn't play herself and just pretend at that point. Was bad enough. She had her friend around her to remind her in the sense of who she really is, and then just talking about Lottie and just being honest and realistic. Like, yo, what are you doing with your life? And she couldn't be as Candace, and I think that was part of it. And I think she just had a break. And I think sometimes that happens when you hold things in for so long, you just snap.
Yeah. So that brings me to this question because, I was reading an article. First, let me read the question. It says, "Is Van wrong for leaving her daughter versus Earn doing the same thing?" So the reason why I asked this question is because a lot of people are saying, what's going on with Van? She left the daughter out there, this and that. I never saw anything wrong with her leaving the daughter for just, a little time away. But as we see, she's come out there and she's literally in contact with no one. We have in previous episodes where Earn is like, "I haven't heard from you in 6 days and all you gave me was a thumbs up." So like I said, I wasn't judging her. And the reason why I said versus Earn doing the same thing is because in the article that I read about the writer of this particular episode was that she brought up the fact that a lot of times when women, they not walk away from their children, but go away from them for a little while, they're more judged, I guess, than the father. And so that's why I came up with this question. So Pretty Girl, how do you feel? Is she wrong for leaving her daughter versus Earn doing the same thing?
Yeah, there's definitely a double standard in society that, men are allowed to do and get away with things that women aren't supposed to because we're the mothers and we're women. We're not supposed to do it. But at the end of the day, we're both 50-50 responsible for any life that we do bring into this world. So in terms of Van, I feel like in terms of how she's handling it is irresponsible because if it depends on the conversation she had with her parents. Like if there was, communication like, "Hey, I'm going to be off the grid. I just need some time. I may or may not communicate or text back." Then that's one thing. But if you're completely ignoring and everybody's worried and concerned, you're out of the country. In my head, like I said, I watched Taken too many times. I would have been over here in Atlanta scared shitless.
Right.
So it just depends on the communication that she laid out for whoever was caring for her daughter. But essentially her and Earn were doing the same thing, by leaving their child, regardless if it's for work or for leisure or for mental health. But it's all in communication. At least with Earn, we did know, okay, he's working, he's making a living.
Right.
Van is equally important because she needed that mental escape, but it's all in the communication. So if that was, if she's breaking that agreement that she had, if she had an agreement, because when she explained it to Candace, she just dropped Lottie off at her parents' house. So I really probably feel like there wasn't really a big discussion. She probably just said, "Hey, I gotta go." And she said next thing she knew, she just hopped on a plane. So it really felt like she was doing some off the fly stuff. So in that case, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, but there is a double standard at the end of the day.
Definitely is. And I thought that she was trying to come out to, get an opportunity, try to see if there were some opportunities out here for her as well. That's what I thought. But Jade, what did you want to say about this?
Did she, that conversation she had with Candace, did she basically imply that she thought she was a danger to her daughter?
It seems that
she said she was in a wreck or something like that.
Well, she was she closed her eyes while she was driving. She said this darkness came over her and she closed her eyes while she was driving. So, she was just basically explaining that she's been off for a while. But
I interpret it as kind of like a suicide attempt in a sense.
Yeah. And her mind was all jacked up because she said that when she saw her daughter, she felt like her daughter was looking at her like, how could you do this to me? So her conscience was really, really freaking bothering her. Like, your daughter did not know that you just tried to kill yourself. I mean, oh gosh, I wish I didn't say that. She didn't know that you tried to take yourself out. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know.
I think it was guilt. Yeah, she felt guilty. So she kind of put that on her daughter, I feel like, in a sense.
Yeah.
So I do think it mainly came down to like communication between the two. Because like you said, you just went off the grid, not saying anything. And but I don't know the agreement they had as far as custody of the child. So because I was going to ask you, what do you mean by doing the same thing? Do you mean like leaving the relationship or leaving to go to?
He left. Basically he's out of town.
Yeah.
And he's not present, he's not in the same country even as his child, right? And so she's overseas, she's away from the baby. So they're both away from the baby. The thing about it with Ern, how I look at it is that, and I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. I'm just saying that with Ern, he is Paperboy's manager. He was doing that back in Atlanta. He was kind of struggling with the money situation. And we also have witnessed Ern trying to, whenever he did come across money, he dropped it off to Van. So this is an opportunity for him to make money and continuously, make sure he provides for his family. Now with Van, it's like, what are you doing over here?
Right.
Not really because you left your child, but you left your child and you left her for really, I don't want to say no reason because her mind is all jacked up, but she just kind of left her with and she's kind of, it's almost like she left her and she's not looking back. So she pretty much checked out, right, guys? So that brings me to my next question. And I'm sorry, it's not a question, it's a topic. It's called checking out. And I have to be honest and say, as a mother, I've thought about this plenty of times, even to recently, just checking out, feeling absolutely overwhelmed, unsupported, and just wanting to fly away to another country like Van. I'm not even talking about in the States. I'm talking about out of the freaking country, okay? And I found this very interesting article, and it was just basically talking about how it's not wrong and it's normal for moms to feel this way. All right. And so it's it's basically saying, moms, your fantasy about running away is totally normal. So I fantasize about doing that. That's what the quote unquote it says. That's the response I heard over and over again when I told friends I was writing a novel about an overworked, overextended working mother who is in the aftermath of a heart attack and bypass surgery runs away. They told me in whispers and in various iterations. One mom imagined staying on the train past her stop, another driving into the sunset instead of going home to make dinner. So, this is just kind of letting me know that this is something that we think about a lot of times as moms. And it's kind of like what Van is going through right now. And this woman is saying in the article, every single mom that she spoke to and shared her book about, they have shared this fantasy with me. And she says not a single father did. So instead of reading the whole article, guys, I just wanted to say that she's not taking away anything from the dads, but she's saying that a lot of times, the pressures of the mom, there's more pressures on the mom, like at home and to work full time and to still come home and be like the house manager and the secretary and all of this stuff, right? So this paragraph says this means that many working mothers today are dealing with all pressures of work while also taking responsibility for the home. Most of my mom friends are air traffic controllers, managing the family logistics, therapists, managing the family emotions, and they're also at least partially financially responsible or the family's well-being. And that's very true, because I'd be feeling that way about myself. So she was basically saying that when the fathers, the reason why she didn't hear nothing from the dads is because when they do their little checkout situation and they decide that they want to go up into the room and, watch a game or whatever, they actually check out. Like, they out. They're not worried about why Timmy peed in the bed. Is it my fault? They're checking out until my break is over, and that's that. And I could relate to this. I'm not a father. Do you have kids, JH?
No.
I'm not a dad. I'm not a man or a father, so I don't know. But as a mom, I could attest that when I'm on my break or whatever, I'm trying to, take a little hiatus, I still feel that to check on the kids and, concern about them when you never could really get a break, So, pretty girl, have you, tell them, do you feel this way sometimes?
Yes, I've been feeling that. It was that way for the past 5 days. The chat don't know, but I've been sick with the flu for the past few days, and even though I'm sick, I'm still dealing with guilt.
Yeah.
There's chores that need to be done. My refrigerator look like we homeless and don't got no food. Well, not homeless because we got a home, but it's real like bare up in there because I haven't been able to grocery shop. I haven't been able to do the things that I'm normally, not necessarily responsible because, I do have a partner, but, there's things I typically handle. And so, I still have my nephew here, I'm raising him. So he still has needs. So even though my body is telling me to stop and has stopped me, life still is going on.
Yeah.
So it's like, and thank God for my husband. He does, take him out and, just give me breaks. But sometimes that's not even enough when you have a 2-parent household. So,
yeah,
I definitely feel, I wouldn't know what to do, being if I was a single mother or what have you, because that takes a whole nother level of strength. But yes, I do experience times where I'm just like, I need a break. I need to get a break. And because I put myself last, by having multiple jobs, doing YouTube, still managing the house and groceries and bills and laundry, it's a lot. It's very overwhelming as a person to be able to have to manage everything. And then when you're in a situation where you're sick and your body physically is telling you you can't do anything, it's even more frustrating because even though my body is still, my mind is still racing of things that I need to do. So it's so frustrating. And I do go through a constant struggle of, okay, make sure my thing is massages. Massages are like my
favorite thing. Yes.
So it's like, I even, make sure I try to set like a 1 day out of the month to get my massage, and it's even hard doing that. Because it's like, it's something else I could be doing, but it's just it's a whole nother conversation because we get into self-care and wellness. So it's so many things involved.
And we still have our mental health live to do. So we can talk about all of that. So absolutely. And so, but at the end of the day, you talking about guilt and all that is a part of the problem. We often feel guilty, and even with the whole massage things, we have to sacrifice a whole bunch, because even with the massages, I used to get massages every month. I paid monthly, right? And then my children started to get a little older. Like the first one, he's about to be 21, I think, on Tuesday. And he had gotten to an age in junior high school where he needed a cell phone. And so I had to sacrifice my massages, as far as just to make everything work with the bills. I couldn't get my massages anymore because I had to pay for my son's phone bill. So, you know what I mean? It's all of that. And, before we get out of this little segment, it says, so mothers know they are expected to be the ones on deck. And as a result, they are the ones on deck. Asking for help is tough. Not feeling guilty about accepting is tougher. It's hard to unhear the ways, subtle and blunt, that we've been told that it's our job to take care of family, that this job is exalted more important than anything else, that we are blessed. Which might be true, but when you're trying to help a sobbing fourth grader with the math packet and get the dinner on and respond to that urgent work email, blessed is not the word that comes to mind. All right. So out of all of this, guys, the main thing is you should ask for help. Don't be afraid. Stop fantasizing about running away and start fantasizing about other things like affordable subsidized childcare. So that was kind of cute. It's basically just saying, don't be afraid to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with that at all. All right. Now, guys, I am kind of feeling like I'm stuck in this. Oh gosh, I was about to be stuck in this thing here. Shoot. Whew. I was stuck in that thing. All right. So now let's get away. So now let's get out of this topic. Sorry, Jay. I didn't know if you had kids or not. Wish that you could have given us a perspective, a dad perspective. That would have been awesome.
Now, I can say that, women do hold it in. I know my mother is like that. She won't say anything, even if something is bothering her. So, I have to kind of nudge things out of her sometimes because, I know it's on her mind, but she's not going to say it because, she's a very nice person. So, yeah.
I get that too. And that is, like we were talking about before, check on the strong ones or your strong friend or, because people have breakdowns. And then when you enter into that 40 club and above, there are certain things that you cannot tolerate anymore. Because now that stress that you used to be able to handle, your body is getting older and can't handle no more. You could be on the verge of a heart attack, anything. And stress is definitely manifested through your physical being. So we're going to talk about all of that when we do our live for that. So that's just a little taste, guys. I know there's not a lot of people in the chat right now, but I really hope that on the replay, there's a lot of people that are interested in that. I'm very, very into self-care and mental health because it's so, so important. But now we have this scene right here where Van, after she snaps out of it, she's talking to, and thank you so much, Pretty Girl and Jay, for your input about that. I didn't want to get so deep, but this is deep. Van done abandoned her life. And this is not to judge this character because there's people that go through stuff like this. And we have normal women that fantasize about leaving things behind. And it's not to say I want to leave my kids and leave the responsibility. But what I really want is to relax. What I really just want is a break without having to feel like, I still have to call at 7 or 6:30 in the morning to make sure that the kids are up for school. That ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, it ain't fair. I'm on vacation. I still got to call to make sure the kids are up for school. Come on now. So Van is, she's talking to her friend Candace and she's saying like, this been going on for some time. We already talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's been going on for some time. I drove down the street. I knew something was off. I drove down the street and it was this dark cloud came over me and I just closed my eyes. So she attempted, S or whatever. And then this is when she decided, what? She took a plane to Amsterdam. Like, what am I doing in Amsterdam? And this is where we are now. The bottom line is she says, I got to go home. So we know Van is going home. And then we get to this scene and I couldn't wait to hear what y'all had to say about this freaking scene. So Jay, since we kind of didn't get, enough from you for the last little segment, what in the world did you think about this daggone scene?
This is how we end season 3? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I get they was trying to go with the comedic effect, but I was like, this is ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
How we just go from this deep conversation to Let me piss on you.
And the crazy thing
I
is,
thought about that.
listen, do you see the comparison? What happened with real life? Like, we were literally just talking about something so serious, and now we're talking about this. Van and her friend were talking about something so serious, and now this is the scene that we get. This woman pissing over this man while looking at this beautiful. I mean, oh my gosh, the scenery is beautiful, but she's doing something very disgusting. So what a stark contrast, actually. I mean, and what I would like to say is that I felt like a lot of time was wasted on this scene. A lot of time, like the piss scene, it was just too long. I said, y'all got to be kidding me. Y'all got to be kidding me.
We
Like,
could have had her going back home or something.
Yeah, we could have added something else in, like pretty girl. Go ahead, jump in, girl.
I mean,
Jump in.
there's a couple things going on, but I honestly appreciated the preparation. He had the tarp on the floor. He gave her a nice view. I mean, if you're gonna pee to a view, I'm just saying, like,
I guess.
I'm not judging because I mean, I ain't that freaky, but I mean. I don't get down with all the bodily fluids like that. But yeah, and shout out to this young lady's bladder. She got to be in her 20s, but she said she had 2 bottles of water at lunch. It's clearly at least 9 p.m. Like, girl, shout out to the 20-something-year-olds with a good bladder. Because me, I'm a golden girl. I can't hold no pee. And she saved that thing. Oh, but I have a question for y'all, because right before this scene, Van was on the bench with Candace, and she asked Candace, "Don't you have somebody to pee on?" And she kind of like shrugged it off. So we cut to her friend. So did she tag team her friend in, or did her friend find somebody else to pee on?
Yeah, like, I think she took the client.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, she had an appointment. She had a piss appointment and a piss appointment.
After going through that ordeal, I don't think she had it in her to go pee on a guy. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point, actually. And she probably was like, no, I can't even. You never know. That whole experience probably changed Candace's mind, honey, about every crazy, like her whole free lifestyle.
Yeah, she got humble.
True. And then for it to go off to one of my favorite Ludacris songs, Flash Waterfall. I was just like, this is... I appreciate the art. I was a little more... I was confused the whole time, but at the end of the episode, I was still confused. But I was like, hey, this is what they want to do. I'm be here for it, even though it's not what I expected. Who am I? I'm just a consumer. But it was a lot. And yeah.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I always I watch these shows as a viewer and an artist or a creator. And so I try to look at it from both sides, and I always just try to respect it. Like, even if I'm not happy, at the end of the day, that is that person's art.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows what in the world was going on in their mind when they were creating? That is their art. Whether you like it or not, that's, well, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But then, guys, after the credits, we get to see Earn, and he has a package delivered to him that is not his, and he insists on telling this man, "This is not mine." Okay. And the guy's like, "Yeah, okay," and just dropped it off anyway. And so now, Ern is like, whatever. So he's sitting down and he's looking through the package and everything. And he has this shirt that I think says Deftones on it. I was, one thing I feel about this show is that you got to look at everything. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're trying to tell a story through everything. And the fact that he pulled that up and it said Deftones, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I didn't get nothing from that. But I just feel like they're trying to tell a story through every little thing that they do. But the most mind-screwing situation
white earns
was the picture of this man and his family. And I said, look, when I do this review, my people's going to tell me that this is a real life picture of a man who killed his family, thinking, because in the first episode, the 3 slaps, I didn't know that situation was a true story with the what was it the last name, the Hart family.
Oh yeah, it was.
I didn't know that was a true story. My people had to tell me that. You know,
Yeah.
my subscribers, they told me, and I said, okay, so maybe this is gonna be another one where they tell me this man killed his whole freaking family. But guys, upon reading my interviews and going into things, come to find out this is Ern. Do y'all remember Ernest, but they call him E, from the reparations episode, the big payback.
White Ern.
That's White Ern. And so this is the reason why the package has come to Ern, the black Ern, and he's saying it's not mine. And if y'all remember in that episode, he was trying to explain to Marshall, he was like, that's not my stuff. I'm sorry, not that it's not my stuff. Oh, wait, we're gonna go back to that. In this scene right here, he's trying to explain to him that they lost his luggage or something like that. So what they were trying to say in this article was that scene that we saw with Ern was the prequel to the season premiere, because it was a dream that Ern had. In order for him to have this dream, he had to see the picture of this man. Okay, child, help a sister out, honey. I feel like I was helped a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about y'all.
I didn't even. Yeah, that explains it. But it's
right.
It's a whole mind. They be mind bleeping us, like for real.
Yes, they really do. They really do.
I know it's all connected, but
it gets deeper though, because the crazy thing about it is, they're talking about this man right here, Ern, or AKA E, but the dream wasn't this. The dream was this. Look at him again. So Ern is showing up in 3 different freaking episodes. So he's in the first episode, 3 slaps. You remember that first scene where they were in the, what was that? The Chattahoochee, whatever the freaking river is, that cursed river. I forgot what that lake is called. It's a cursed lake in Atlanta. Yes, Lake Lanier. Sorry, I don't freaking said something totally different. Wow. So they're on the cursed lake and he's talking, and look, after I realized the connection that this is the same guy, Ernest, and this is in Black Ern's dream, and then we see him in the reparations episode, I'm realizing that this man, White Ern, what he represents is he's like a conscious representation of what a woke white person should be, right? Because the stuff that he's dropping in each episode that he's in, we're gonna get to it. But first, let me get to my super chats. Hi, Eric. Thank you so much. He said, this is another show I never seen, LOL, but I saw one of the guys in this. Brian Tyree Henry was what? And I liked him in Marvel Eternal, so I'm gonna try it out. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. What's his name? That's Al, right? Paperboy. Okay. Eric, it's funny. I mean, it's 30. When you start watching the previous seasons, like season 1 and 2, you'll be able to get through it fast. You should be, because it's only 30 minutes long, and not even because of the commercials. You can just fly through the commercials depending on what you're watching it on. But thank you so much again, Eric, for that super chat, and I really appreciate you. And it's a good show. It gets a little weird, season 3, but watch it from the beginning. So let's get back to this dude. This is our woke guy representing. So here's one thing that he says. In this episode, he says, the thing about being white is it blinds you. It's easy to see the black man as cursed because you've separated yourself from him, but you don't know you're enslaved just like him. All right. And so this is him explaining to the dude that the town that had went under, it was a black town. Yeah. But it was almost white. And he's like, what are you talking about? It's almost white. And then he tries to explain that white is not really, based on color. It's more of a social status, And so I'm like, yo, he was really, even when I first saw this episode, I was like, this guy is really breaking it down deep, All right, and then we get to we get to him in the reparations episode, which is called the Big Payback. It's my money and I need it now. Okay. He's trying to explain to Marshall, because Marshall was like, I didn't even do anything. And they're doing this, so you didn't even do anything. You know, of course, who better to say this to than a fellow white person who should feel the same way, right? Mm-hmm. But he don't seem to see it that way. He's looking at it like, listen, it might be justice. Because to them, slavery is not past, and it's not a mystery. It is not an historical curiosity. It is a cruel, unavoidable ghost that haunts in a way we can't see. So before he said this, he was basically telling him that, you know, for us, slavery is it's like an option. Like, the history is there, and it's optional for us to look it up. You know what I'm saying? And learn about it or whatever. But we don't really have to. And he was trying to explain to Marshall that, you know, they have to basically live in this. It's a curse that follows them, basically. Like he said, it's a cruel, unavoidable ghost. And I'm telling you, whoever wrote this guy in this series, I feel like this is the part where genius is happening. That's my opinion. Anybody want to jump in after all of this is said?
That line stuck with me. You know, just in my own review, I think I mentioned it. Like, they have that, even though slavery is a part of all of our history, but it affects us seemingly the most. And they have a way of being able to separate themselves from slavery, but we can't, because we are still dealing with slavery and all the systematic things that went into place afterwards, you know. So it was definitely some great dialogue. Like, they really put a lot of gems in this whole season. But I also wanted to mention how you was discussing how everything was like in dreams. So in that first episode, when I watched it a second time, after that scene on the boat, we cut to the little boy waking up from his sleep in the classroom. And then at the end of the episode, after everything happened, we cut to Ern waking up from so it's like, okay, dream within dream, like it was kind of mind blowing for me again, because I'm like, what's going on here? But you could tell just so much thought went into this, and I definitely appreciate them for really just giving this to us, honestly.
Yeah. And then it also makes me feel like, I don't know what do you guys think about this? It makes me kind of feel like, since we see that the first episode was most likely a dream, do you think that they're leaving it up to us to be smart enough to say that this particular episode right here in front of us, where we meet Ernest, aka E, that this is also a dream that Ern had? I tried to go back to the episode after this to see if we have like an opening where Ern is waking up, but no, that didn't happen. So I'm just like, maybe they left it up to us to figure out that this is a dream. What do you think about that, Jay?
I do think all of those were dreams, because you had Trinity to the Bone. That one was was spooky.
Really? It was a freaking creeper. I'm sorry.
There was a lot of weird stuff going on, but I think all of them, I think all of them had a theme. I think all of them came together as far as, race being a social construct. Episode 9 did it very well. Then Trinity to the Bone, you had the little white boy. He basically was black.
Yes, I loved it, yo.
Yeah. So
I freaking loved it.
I think all of them, as weird as they were, and all over the place, but they had a central theme. So that was my favorite part. I like those episodes better than episodes that had the crew.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of people liked the standalone episodes, and I guess for me, like I said, I wasn't upset about them. That they kept coming, so I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I see a pattern here. It looked like it's an every other episode thing. So I was like, okay, let's see what this is about now. And like you said, there definitely was a reoccurring theme going on. It had everything to do with race and white folks and white versus black, and just all in every aspect. I mean, in different ways that you could think of. You know what I'm saying? You got the black person, the black nanny raising the white kid, and you got the reparations, and then you got these women in the beginning that are trash, but because they're white, nobody comes to check on these babies. They keep on giving them to this terrible home. Now, if that was a black family, the social worker will be coming up there probably every month checking on them kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lady even said it, like, why do they keep giving them, why do they keep giving us stuff, or why do they keep, letting us get away with this and stuff like that? So it was a lot of light being shown on different things, and I appreciated that above all. But I hope that next season is all Atlanta crew. I'm cool. We did the whole the standalone episodes. I'm good on that. Now let's get to the bottom of just the crew, and because that's who I started watching, and that's who I want to see. This is my, it's just my opinion, really. But that's that. Listen, Mr. E, you the bomb, bro. But then you're gonna go and freaking blow your daggone head off. What up with that?
For real? Excuse me.
I still want to know what's up with Socks. I felt like that was a loose end.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
I just thought about Socks, and I was gonna say something, and it totally left me. Thank you so much for saying something about Socks. Because somebody said to me in one of my in the comment section, and they said that Socks is the white guy that was basically kind of like he not pulling the strings, but at the party he set all of that stuff in motion, and he sat back and laughed, and then come to find out, because he was in the driver's seat. Remember, he was in the driver's seat laughing and stuff like that. And then come to find out he's on tour with them. I'm like, why y'all let him on tour with y'all? Y'all don't know him.
That was so confusing.
And then he's taking the phone and doing it. Like, what are you doing? Just trying to sabotage. You know what I mean? And so I don't know what happened to Socks. They left that totally unanswered for us. That is some closure that I wanted. I wanted closure on Van, and I definitely wanted closure on Socks. And I wanted to see, and I hope that they do this for next season. I wanted to see Darius, who was one of my faves. I wanted to see him do something. Like, he's been very leechy.
Yeah.
Like, do something, bro. Don't come out here and just be, you got your little curly freaking mustache and using the money to him. I'm gonna just let the universe handle this bill.
Oh, that aggravated.
Really?
Right.
Oh, that aggravated me.
Trash.
Like, no, don't do that. And one thing that you guys know, if many of you follow me, I don't care how much I love me a character. If they get out of line, I'm going to get them. And I did not like that. Like, get yourself together, bro. Get on the payroll. Do something with your freaking weird behind, which I love his weirdness, okay? But I'm just saying. He really pissed me off. Get yourself together. That's what, what that represents, though. That's a lot of people that when they have fame and they they're rappers, or that they bring their friends with them, and they're just a bunch of bums and they leech off, you know what I'm saying? And they also cause a whole bunch of trouble for that rapper or that artist. The one thing I do like about him is that he doesn't cause trouble. You know what I mean? But he's leeching like crazy.
Kinda, because he did introduce him to the whole drug situation and ghosted him.
That is true. That's true. He did that. And then that girl, what was the girl's name again that represents the mom?
Oh,
Lorraine or something like, huh?
Lorraine.
And that was like the mom telling him, like, yo, look to your finances, okay? You paying for all of this stuff. Look to your finances. I really enjoyed that episode, by the way, though.
Yeah, I feel like they made the point. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I feel like in each episode they made it a point to speak to, even though they're speaking to Black people and probably also white people as a whole. I feel like each episode pinpointed specific topics, about it, like the whole fashion episode, and they really just hit a lot of different topics that was needed to be discussed. And it's weird because they did it out loud, but they also did it subliminally, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Every time I watch this show, I think about Donald Glover's song "Stay Woke," and I feel like that song is just like the anthem for this whole show. Stay woke, like, and then no matter how funny it is, or no matter what the storyline is, he's always sprinkling seeds of like knowledge and just awareness, like stay woke. That's that. Now, before we get out of here, anybody want to let us know what you're doing on your channel? Let's ladies first. Pretty girl, what you got going on?
Well, your girl has been in a sick and shut-in list at the
Oh,
church.
yeah.
So I am so behind. I still have to get my review out for the Atlanta finale, Atlanta Housewives. We Own the City. I'm behind on everything, y'all. So just bear with me. I will be releasing these videos hopefully in the next few days. P Valley's coming, so I'm excited about that.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll be reviewing that. So yeah, just be on the lookout, and we will be. I'll be starting to review the original Power season next week, God willing.
Nice.
Works out with me being healthy, but yes, that's about it right now.
Excuse my excitement, my ooh child, because I had to, when I said that, I kind of like channeled my inner Uncle Clifford.
Yes.
Guys, I'm a newbie. Welcome me to the family, okay? Welcome me to the pink, honey, because I just watched it and experienced it for the first time, and I'm ready, y'all.
Really? Oh.
I have not been on the train. I have not been knowing what the heck is going on. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I feel bad to admit this, because I would hate for someone to do this to me. But because I saw so many new faces and unfamiliar actors and stuff like that, I really didn't want to watch it. But I saw how a lot of people was watching. So I said it must be pretty good. But I was just like, I don't know. And yeah. So, but I'm glad that I'm on the train, and I'm definitely going to be, reviewing that. But go ahead, JH.
All right. If you want an extra dose of Atlanta, me and Brillo have our episode 9 and 10. We did those together.
Nice.
Also, Raising Kanan is coming back August 14th.
Yes.
So I'm going to do a reaction to the trailer. I guess kind of give my predictions for season 2. Last night I just filmed my latest podcast, the Catch Up Podcast, episode 24. My main topic was the latest versus battle between UGK and 8Ball at MJG. So
Nice.
that, and also I'm working on a new project inspired by Miss K.
What?
Yeah, because y'all do y'all Game of Thrones, revisiting that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
y'all inspired me to revisit my favorite show of all time, which is Lost. So
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
so I'll be start filming on that sometime next week. So
awesome. See, we got a trend going. Okay, got a trend, honey. Yes, I review The Wire, revisit The Wire on Nita's channel. We revisit Game of Thrones, and then the Moochie's channel, we're gonna be revisiting The Sopranos. So yes, it's so much fun when you just go back and why wait? Like when I started to do my my YouTube channel, I was late. It was after Game of Thrones ended, and that's my favorite show. So I didn't get a chance to get in, and I wish I could have got in on that. But so it's so much fun for me to go on Moochie's channel and talk about, I'm sorry, not Moochie, Nita's channel and talk about it. So I'm all good with that. So and talking about The Wire is awesome as well. Did you want to finish, JH? I'm sorry, I don't know if I cut you off. Okay, awesome. Please make sure that you guys subscribe to Pretty Girl Loves Trap content and JH Review. Right now, It's not in the description box, but I will add it in there for you guys. Okay. But I'm pretty sure if you just type in the JH review, it comes right up, right?
Pop up.
And Pretty Girl loves trap content, girl. Whew, gosh.
I just call her PG.
Yeah, PG. Yeah. Pick anything,
PG. Okay, yes, I love that. That's a go. All right. So, and then for me, hey Savannah, missed you, boo. We about to get out of here. So, for me, what I'm doing is on Tuesday, I'm gonna be doing The Wire season 2, episode number 2. So join me. That's at 10, I believe. And P Valley is coming, so the reviews are coming for that as well. And that's that, guys. Whatever else I have coming, you never know. Sometimes I just get creative out of nowhere and just want to talk. So keep the notification bells on. Thank you so much again, Pretty Girl, PG, and JH. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Moochie couldn't be here today, Savannah, but she says, ew.
You sound like her.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you again. Everybody that's been listening in, I appreciate you guys. Hashtag replay if you catch this on the replay, and let us know everything from all the questions that we asked. Would you let somebody pee on you for money, boo? I mean, no. Ooh, that was weird.
I said, would you let somebody in the bar?
I said, would you let somebody pee on you for money? Oh, I meant, would you pee on someone for money? That was the question. We had our
trying to go there. You could ask that.
Yeah, could ask that. Yeah, could be the other way around though.
Opportunity up in here, I guess.
Right. They talk about money. Okay. So yes, would you let someone do that? I mean, would you do that for money? Like our girl Candace and Shanice up in the episode. We talked about the checking out. We talked about, is Van, do you think she's wrong compared to what Earn did, but leaving their kid? And just so much more. Also, does it piss you off when you had something as simple as a lip gloss in your hand or any item, and all of a sudden you cannot find it? 1 to 10, does it piss you off? You guys have a blessed Sunday evening. Go have fun. I don't know what you're going to do, but just relax and enjoy your Memorial Day. And I thank you again for joining me. Take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.